Good morning, ladies. Today I'm sharing a little bit about turning 30. For most of my life, I lived on the fence of my faith. And we know that Jesus hates lukewarm, Christians and Christianity in general. Um, I gave my life to him when I was in fifth grade at a midweek, like kids service. It was called Wow. And I don't know if my decision then was primarily emotional. I don't even know if fifth graders, make, I mean, I think some do. They can make like a really genuine, like heartfelt decision to follow the Lord, and then they just don't, they don't go back and that sort of a thing. But for me, that wasn't the case. From high school all the way through about the age of 26, I was in and out of relationships. I really wanted to taste the world, you know. I think I've been told a million times in church, the dangers of just living in the world, but I didn't care. I wanted to do my own thing. And so I did. I drank too much. I was in and out of relationships. Tried drugs. I did the whole bit. And um, God knew, though, that I needed stability. It was just my life was like just sort of like just waves of like in and out of like trying to walk with Him and then not. And um, it wasn't until I reconnected with my husband 8 years after I graduated Bible college that my life began to kind of settle down a bit. And, that's not to say that my husband is like my main source of like peace or stability or even like my soul anchor. Um, but for years, there were just seasons of depression, anxiety, and just sort of wandering. And God's used him in my life to bring about sort of like that constancy. Um, I'm grateful for God's grace, just woven through my life, woven through the seasons of anxiety and depression and loneliness and regret. Um, he never stopped pursuing me, even though I was lukewarm, even though I wasn't fully committed to him. He wasn't done with me yet, and he's still not. Thank God, really. Um, he has blessed me with a wonderful, godly husband with two beautiful children, and and he has given me far more than I could ever imagine or even deserve. He's given me a vision for parenting without fear, um, a passion to serve his people, and hope for the future that I never had before. When I look back at my life and all of the seasons where I chose the world over the Lord and essentially chose my own kingdom over his, um, I realized that I could have accomplished far more had I tried to sow into his kingdom than my own. Obviously, I know that ultimately, he was working everything together and bringing everything together, and then I'm able to share my story now, even with you, and say, hey, a life lived for him is far far greater than life lived for ourselves. Obviously, when I look back at my life, though, the elements or parts of my life where I see the most light are those seasons where I wanted to live life for the Lord, where I wanted to serve people, where I wanted to uplift and encourage those around me. Those are the parts of my life that have been worth it up until this point. Um, for many women, I think turning 30 is sort of this daunting thing. We've placed an incredible amount of pressure on two numbers, 3 and 0. And those numbers represent for a lot of people in their minds anyway, okay, I've got to be married, I've got to have my career locked down, I should be done having kids by this point. And the reality, though, is that Christian women, we're not glued to this timeline. That's the world's timeline. Um, even in our Christian culture, though, we've sort of kind of adopted the world system, and in a lot of ways, where we go, oh well, they're single. What's wrong? They're aren't they? 30 something or 40 something. Whatever. We sort of adopted their line of thinking in a lot of senses, where we look at them and they go, well, they're so funny, or they're so good looking, or they're smart, or why are they not in a relationship? Um, but the Lord numbers our days. He has the details of our lives so completely planned out and such a purpose for our lives that it doesn't matter, if we're not married by 30, or if we're not, if we don't have all of our kids by that certain age, or, our career, or whatever the case. He has a perfect plan. So whatever age you are, whether you're, 20 or 60, if your life looks radically different than you imagined, but you're walking with the Lord, you're walking side by side with Him, know that He's got something great in mind for you. Know that He has a purpose for your life, far beyond just, hitting a number. Know that He's not so concerned with what we've accomplished in this life, but what we've done in this life to impact eternity. Um, I never envisioned in my life that I would be back at the Bible college. I never thought I would live here. Um, but I'm so grateful that his plans are far greater than my own, because I don't know where I would be if I tried to really manipulate my life and make things my own. I probably wouldn't be walking with him. I probably wouldn't be serving him. But in all of my 30 years up until now, I would say that the best have been those years where I've, sought to seek the Lord and his will for my life. So I just leave you with Proverbs 3:5 through 6. Most of us know it well. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and not on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him, and he will guide your paths. He'll make your paths straight. So I love you, ladies, and I hope that each of you, in whatever season you're in, is seeking the Lord and knowing that those will be the moments where you are really impacting eternity in this life. So I love you guys and hope to talk to you soon.